you've been seeing things again. You better have a drink.
Dude, maybe this'll help.
I recently watched the movie Rio Bravo by Howard Hawks, and one of the themes of that movie that really stuck with me was the theme of addiction, as well as the theme of redemption. In the film, Dean Martin plays Deputy Sheriff Dude, who is a recovering alcoholic. And throughout the film, the sheriff Chance, played by John Wayne, has to help Dude overcome his alcoholic tendencies and in a way reform him into a respectable man once again. And some of Dude's backstory is he was once a respectable deputy who was very good with a gun, very moral person, very righteous, and he upheld the law with honor. But there was a woman who came and broke his heart, and after having his heart broken, he fell into drinking and became addicted to alcohol. As we see him in the film, Dude is in the process of trying to overcome this addiction. And so one of the themes of Rio Bravo was how do we help our friends out of addiction? And John Wayne's character is constantly trying to keep him busy, trying to give him jobs. And as a character, Dude is not helpless. He himself does want to recover, and he puts in effort to overcome his addiction, and he takes opportunities to prove himself when he can. He's a man who has kind of lost his reputation. Now he is known as a town drunk. People mock him, people humiliate him freely. No one has any respect or reverence for him. So this is something he has to earn once again throughout the film. And this is a tall order because in the lore of the film, Dude has been an alcoholic for years. He's been an alcoholic for so long that everyone else around him has begun to identify him as an alcoholic. And when they come into town, they expect him to just be some drooling, dirty alcoholic rolling on the ground, someone who you step over on your way to do cleaner business.
And I'm so used to stumbling over that fella. I don't think I ever did see him standing on his own 2 feet without something to help hold him up.
This is a hard reputation for him to overcome. And even when he does start to sober up and clean up, there's countless references in this film where another character will see him all cleaned up and sober, and they'll say, "I almost didn't recognize you. I've been so used to seeing you drunk that I don't even recognize you when you're sober." There's a segment when Dude is cleaning up. He has earned the respect of John Wayne's sheriff character, and John Wayne gives him back his old guns. He gives him back his old deputy uniform, and Dude goes and gets a shave, and he looks clean again. He looks recovered. He doesn't look like some shabby alcoholic. He looks like a respectable deputy. And on his way back to the jail, Stumpy shoots at him because Stumpy thinks he's some outlaw trying to get in the jail. He doesn't recognize that it's Dude because Dude looks so clean.
That idiot just took a shot at me.
Stumpy, you all right?
Sure I am, but there's a fella out there with a black hat that ain't.
And I'm that fella.
And this kind of speaks to the fact that if we stay submerged in our worst tendencies long enough, if we give in to our addictions long enough, and the rest of the world sees us in this state for long enough, they'll begin to define us by our addictions. They'll start to know us by our worst tendencies. Dude is a man who proved to the world that he was an alcoholic, and this became who he was to the rest of the world. It's interesting because the rest of the world doesn't even seem happy to see him cleaned up. They're more surprised than they are happy. And there's a lot of people who don't want to see him succeed.
That beer ain't gonna do you no good. You're gonna have to get something stronger than that. If you're still broke, I think I got another $1. Hey, Chance, you gonna let him do that to me?
I'll do better than that. I'll let him have the key to your cell anytime he wants it.
That's sort of where the John Wayne character comes in, and he's Dude's only real ally, a guy who's rooting for him, not a guy who's a mother figure, not a guy who's going to hold his hand. He gives him a lot of tough love, and he's not exactly the guy to hand out compliments. However, he truly does believe in him, and that's showcased in the fact that he's kept Dude's guns and clothes for all these years, waiting for the day when he'd clean up from alcoholism. And I think this does touch Dude in a certain way. Dude is surprised and very appreciative of the fact that his friend has believed in him.
I'm good when I'm sober, boy. Real good. I should have known better. A man not have sense enough to know when he's no good no more.
But even with an ally who believes in you, it can be hard to believe in yourself, especially if you've given in to your worst impulses for so many years. Dude is a man who not only did the rest of the world define him as an alcoholic, but I think he began to relate and identify with his own alcoholism. And to climb out of that almost feels like being in someone else's skin. There's a bit of an identity crisis when Dude cleans up. We see when he's getting a shave, he looks nervous and afraid. There's this weird kind of shakiness in his eyes, like he almost doesn't want to get cleaned up because he's so used to being in a lowly state that to be exalted again, to be a decent man again, decency is almost something that doesn't fit him, something he doesn't think will fit him, and he's afraid of having it again. And that kind of speaks to maybe the hardest part of climbing out of addiction, which isn't necessarily climbing out of the addiction. It's not the climbing itself. It's almost getting to the top of the mountain and then looking and seeing just how far you'd fall in the first place, seeing how much of your potential you were squandering. I think for some people it's a scary thing to see themselves doing well because it recontextualizes the suffering to be not just suffering, but a wasting of your potential. And for Dude, there is a bit of an internal crisis when he cleans up. And he eventually does drink another beer after getting cleaned up. And it's this reversion to our worst selves because we're afraid of living our best life. Because we maybe think we're not worthy of it, we can't uphold it, it's too much responsibility, it's a weight on our shoulders, and it feels like something we can't possibly maintain. And so we kind of revert to self-destruction. And after he drinks the beer and his shakes come back and Dude is jumped by some bandits and he is tied up, he's hog-tied, he's once again humiliated. His confidence is in the gutter and he's about to jump back into his addiction. He's going to indulge once again in liquor just to get rid of the shakes. But he doesn't. He doesn't take the drink. And it's important to look at this scene. What prevents him from jumping back into the addiction? When he hears the song the Deguello, which is a theme of the movie, it's a song that's played constantly throughout the film, and it's a song that is played by band members who were paid off by the bandits, the bad guys in the film. And it's a song from the Alamo that the Mexicans played when they surrounded the Alamo, and it's almost a psychological warfare tactic. It's intimidation.
What is it?
Well, they call it the Deguello, the cutthroat song. The Mexicans played it for those Texas boys when they had them bottled up in the Alamo.
Yeah.
Played it day and night till it was all over. Now do you know what he means by it?
No quarter. No mercy for the losers.
And this song has been a constant throughout the film. It's been a reminder of the trouble they're in, the battle they're fighting. And when Dude hears this music before he's about to drink, he realizes what he's in for, what he's been fighting for. And for context, what they're doing in the film is holding a prisoner for murder, but the prisoner has a bunch of hired guns, hired by his brother, who are surrounding the town and waiting for a chance to come and break free the man in jail. And so John Wayne's character and Dude and a few other people are holding out to defend this jail and keep the prisoner there until the federal marshals come to take him. And it's been a long struggle. It's been a hard battle, and Dude has been there for the whole thing. And hearing the Deguello again reminds him that they are surrounded, that they've been in this battle for so long, and that his good friend John Chance needs a friend. He needs a helping hand. He needs someone to be there for him during this climactic moment that's about to arrive.
Till I played that piece, I forgot how I got into this thing. Keep on playing it, I don't think I'll ever forget again.
And the magical thing about this scene is that when Dude hears the music, his hands stop shaking. Remembering his purpose in all of this is what cures the addiction. And this is the ultimate replacement for liquor for him, is just knowing that he has a role to play in this larger world. So Dude is a man whose addiction is stayed by purpose. And I think that's very true of most men. The thing that keeps them from their addictions or their worst impulses is some kind of purpose. What is something you can do with your life that matters? How can you be there for other people? Filling your days and your time with productivity, with things that will make the world a better place. And when that's your motivation, it replaces any other carnal desires that you might have. And it makes battling them much easier when you can simply replace it with something better. I guess ultimately one of the themes of Rio Bravo is that addiction is perhaps best overcome by purpose. And when men feel that they have a purpose, they have a part to play, they have a job to do, when they have friends they need to fight for, to give help to, this replaces any kind of selfish impulses or addictions that they might be struggling with. That's about it. Appreciate you guys watching. If you enjoyed this video, please go to patreon.com/Orion Trips. You can get early access to new videos as well as vote for upcoming videos. I guess that'll be it. So thanks for watching, guys, and peace out. Take care.
For my rifle, my pony, and